recently I went out of my way to hit my homie Deco from 89. Just late night, loaded, cuz, get Wack on the phone. On my mama. You know how bad I talk about Wack, on camera, off camera.
Right.
Should I tell you when nobody's listening, looking? Nobody around. I say, cuz, Deco, get Wack on the phone, cuz. I tell Deco, I'm like, tell cuz we need to, he need to either like get on camera and at least, I say, cuz ain't gotta say, I lied, Spider wasn't there. I say he could at least just say, I might be tripping, I don't know how, maybe he wasn't there. Or we can get down, but we need to just like get this energy over with. This shit is stupid. And this is based on like me talking to a few of my homies and just what you just said. There's so much more to talk about. Our gifts of being orators are so much far bigger than just sitting on this bullshit. I hate that I got pigeonholed as one of them dudes. So just me knowing I don't agree with nothing Wack says, or I know I'm not wrong on the principles of our disagreement. I still call myself being a bigger man based on the fact that's the main negative energy I got on the internet. I say, it's been all this time, it ain't did nothing, it's just this bullshit. Let me go ahead and reach out and tell cuz, let's find a way to make it come to a head. So Deco like, all right, cuz, I'm gonna call you right back.
And this is what, a couple weeks ago you said?
If a couple, maybe like 10, 11 days.
Got it.
I could look at my phone and verify, but not that long ago at all. So now Deco, if y'all are not familiar with cuz, that's my homie from 89th Street. And as long as I've known Wack, which has been over 20 years at this point, I've been aware that him and Deco are like family. If they're not actual blood, which I don't believe, that's how they push it, and they've carried it like that since day one. And that was kind of like why me and Wack had a cool relationship that kind of went beyond me just knowing him from day one because he was cool with the homie Deco. So all the time while we've been not really seeing eye to eye or having our way with riffraff, him and Deco ain't never skipped a beat in their relationship. They family. So that's why I reached out to Deco to say, put me in touch with cuz. So Deco get us on the phone and Wack go Clubhouse on me. So I never even got to present the terms or the conditions of, hey cuz, let's just like either you get online and at least admit that you could be wrong, or let's squabble, let's just get this shit over with. That's what I wanted to ask him. But he went so Clubhouse on me, I never got to articulate that.
That's a bad feeling when you're trying to like put the olive branch out there and trying to like clean the situation up a little bit, and instead you get the exact energy that you've been getting.
This nigga so goofy. Throughout the conversation, right in front of my homie from 89 East Coast, he telling me, no, just leave it where it's at. Stutterbox broke as fuck right now. Stutterbox been telling me, let me get him. Wack, he been waiting. I'm like, I just laugh. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, whatever. So he got so Clubhouse, I hung up and then just called the homie back. Like, I ain't finna do all that, cuz. Like, if cuz, I said, it's cool. Then we got on the phone a couple times. And Wack couldn't help but go Clubhouse. He kept going Clubhouse. So all I was doing saying, so when I'm on the phone with Deco, when Wack ain't on there, I'm like, cuz, just tell cuz this. Just tell cuz, either go online and say, admit I wasn't there, or say you could be wrong, or tell cuz we could just get down and squash it. Deco was like, cuz ain't finna do none of that, Spider. Deco don't call cuz Wack. I can't think of it. He got a little family or a little friend nickname he calling me. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. It's like Scooter or something. So even while we was on the phone, when Wack was going Clubhouse, the homie kept telling cuz, like, hold up. But he don't call him Wack. He call him by that little name. So anyway, he told cuz, he like, he didn't want to hear nothing. Well, I'm keeping it Google. Wack didn't want to hear nothing I was talking about. He was woofing on me. But the next morning, the homie called me back and was like, cuz, I talked to cuz again. That shit squash. You ain't gonna speak on him, and he ain't gonna speak on you. I'm like, man, all right. But in my mind, I'm thinking, like, I just talked to this nigga man to man. I know Wack. He ain't said himself. How do I really know I could trust that?
Because it's like still going to be a Cold War if you never talk about each other. Like, yeah, that's good. It's better than like going back and forth over and over. But it's also like a 5-minute man-to-man conversation would be so much better.
That's why I chose to go that route. But then I wake up today, No, and yes, I wasn't sure if Wack really accepted the olive branch. But then my homegirl sent me a screenshot that I sent to you where she was like, damn, Wack was on Clubhouse saying y'all had a round table. He ain't got nothing bad to say about you. So I sent Deco a screenshot of her message, was like, tell Wack we locked in. I sent the muscle, a 100, and a whoop. I'm tell him it's locked in. I understand we cool now. But I wake up today, cuz get back to trolling. I get people sending me a gang of shit. He talking bad about me and shit. I'm like, damn. So what I assume happened is me and Wack agreed to like ceasefire with the verbal or whatever, the trolling, whatever you want to describe it as. And what happened, I had did an interview with Brick Baby up here like a few weeks prior to that.
Right. And it took like over a week for it to start coming out.
Which Wack is fully aware of the process of how content is released.
Right.
But it seems to me, I could be wrong, he took the opportunity to go back on whatever little ceasefire we went on, and he got back to trolling me. So I woke up this morning to a lot of Wack disrespect. That's funny to me, cause a hoe ass nigga that I was voluntarily taking my foot off his neck to give him a pass, just because I felt more mature than keeping engaging in these exchanges. It's not that he deserved it. I just felt like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? I feel it real ironic. He was just sitting up here talking to you about Jay Diggs, and he tried to accuse Jay Diggs of taking a beef public that need to be kept on the low.
Right.
But this goofy bitch ass nigga just announced to the world, we sat down at the round table. It's over with. So if it's on, that's the perfect time we can get at each other. But then he wake up the next day and it's back on. He tell everybody.
Right.
But he was just telling you that's bullshit. Didn't he tell you? That's what he said. That's what Jay Diggs was doing. Why you keep announcing it? If it's on, we gonna keep it off the. Ain't that what he said?
All right.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Keep it a Google.
About
Jay Diggs.
Jay Diggs.
He said Jay Diggs was broadcasting a beef. If it's really on, why is he talking about it? Quit talking about it. Let the streets handle it. Remember he said let the alleys and the darkness and the nighttime be our friend. So if we just told the whole world we cool, if we got a problem really for real, why did you go back public?
Right. And that's the problem with you guys not having the open line of communication.
We do have to open the line of communication. I chose to utilize it. And then he chose instead to do what a cell soldier would do. Utilize technology separation to disrespect me. We call that a cell soldier.
A cell soldier. Okay.
Yes, in jail. People will say things on the other side of the bars to you that they'd never say in your face. And what the metaverse has created is a whole bunch of cell soldiers. They're virtual cell soldiers.
Right.
That's why you see so many people comfortable coming up here or wherever they at, being in these microphones, talking so aggressive and disrespectful to certain individuals. Because they on the other side of the cell, my nigga.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
No, it's a weird time to be alive because there's so many people that, you know, especially older dudes. It's kind of shocking when it's older guys who seem like they are so, they're just working on behalf of the internet. Like they know that if they don't have beef and conflict that people won't watch their content. So you got a guy who's been gangbanging for 40 years or whatever and has always been a stand-up dude or whatever, never told, never did some gay-ass shit over the years, and then all of a sudden they're a YouTuber and they care about how many likes they get or how many views they get, which because it all comes trickling down to how much money they make, and you just see them doing all kinds of weird-ass shit that you never would have expected.
So many of them.
Not saying that about Wack. I'm talking about other people who I have in my head right now. But
Me too.
yeah, I mean, but there's been a big conversation about that. I mean, like Big U even fucking made a video at one point. It's basically like just telling all the Crips, like, stop this shit. Stop
I think he was talking about his homies.
Yeah, I know. But like, I
He was
feel
talking
like,
about the 60s.
right. A lot of people took it, you know, personal, like people I had conversations with, or actually a lot of people denied taking it personal when I was sitting there thinking like, no, he was talking about you. He's talking about some very specific people, I'm pretty sure.
He was speaking directly to his homies, but the implications spread to others. On my mama, I've had interactions online that were associated with my street affiliation I'm not proud of, but I didn't initiate them. But I have allowed others that are affiliated with my same affiliation to speak my name in certain fashions online, and I've engaged. And I may have needed to at those certain moments, but there's certain moments I realize there's no need to. But I've been so on point to try to react and respond to all disrespect. I got to take a note out of Neighborhood Nip book where he said, learn he probably didn't originate this phrase, but he made it common amongst our people, our culture. We need to learn to train ourselves to respond differently when we're disrespected.
Right.
And this is something I've been trying to undergo as part of my personal development, because I was fully aware, like what me and Wack was going through, or have been going through, or apparently what we seemingly are still going through. Hey, if we really trying to get at each other, the best thing is for everybody to think it's over with. But he blew that cover. Oh, blah, 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 blah. So, it make me wonder.
We got to start from scratch now.
Yeah, you dig it all? Fuck him.
Yeah, it's a weird one too, though, because it's like, you know, you're somebody who I definitely appreciate our conversations and like having on the show and stuff. And I've been thinking like, okay, how do we do something more consistent with the Spider Loc thing? But then at the same time, it's like Brick Baby has the exact same situation as you, where he keeps kind of seeming like shit might be getting better, and then all of a sudden, it's like they're going crazy. Yeah, and it's like, I know there was like a 3-hour Clubhouse argument over the weekend or whatever, but I just kind of like refuse to listen to this shit. So I'm really not sure what they were talking about.
I've heard bits of it, but the thing is, it's like Cuz always find himself in the middle of some Los Angeles Crip business or some Compton Crip business.
He's totally down to get involved with any kind of like gang-related argument or any argument in general. He's just down to like just weigh in and get in there.
He's such a fan of L.A. and Compton gangbanging. He's more of a fan of it than you are, whether you realize it.
Well, he's not a fan because he's more of like, he's closer to it, right?
No, he's a fan.
Right.
He's a fan.
But I have more layers of distance from it. Yeah.
Correct. But they have L.A. Laker fans that live in Milwaukee. Right. They have L.A. Laker fans that live in Inglewood.
And so you're saying that this Pacoma Pyru is just a big fan of what's going on over there.
Just tell me this. He sat right here and told you, Adam, tell me, how do a guy that ain't from Pacoima know what a dude from Pacoima doing in Pacoima? Now, you apply that logic to everything he talks about on there. Big old dummy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
wait.
He's a polarizing figure.
No, stop.
Makes for a great podcaster, but it becomes dicey.
He draws big attention. Loud voices, aggressive people who claim to matter in L.A. It draws attention. Sure, you get away with it as a cell soldier on the internet, but you're smarter than that, though, Alex. Don't do that, Adam. Shout out to Alex Alonso, Street TV, Facts Over Feelings, my nigga. But look, hey, you smarter than that. He sat there and told you this. Just break down the logic. How does a guy from Pacoima, who not from Pacoima, this is logic. It don't make no sense to him. How could a guy who's not from Pacoima know what a dude from Pacoima does in Pacoima? Just turn that logic around to everything he talks about. So how does he make any sense to you? Are you just pimping him because, like you say, he's pulverizing and it's good for numbers? Because I know your intellectual mind cannot process that as making sense.
Well, but I mean, that's one of those like incoherent arguments that people use about everything. It's like, how can you talk shit about me when you don't even know me? I hear people say it all the time. What the fuck are you talking about? Everybody on Twitter right now has opinions about Palestine and Israel, and absolutely nobody who's having these opinions lives there.
That's what he pulled on me.
It's not necessary.
But didn't they like sneak up years after, like, it's supposed to be good, and then they just did their shit, right?
Who?
The Palestine shit that's going on right now with the war. Wasn't it like...
It's very complicated, but...
But in general, my understanding was there was an assumption of peace. Right. And then somebody struck, like, fuck you.
I mean, they've really just been going at it nonstop for, like hundreds of years. And so it's kind of hard to even just be like, oh, like, it's very hard to be like, these are the good guys and these are the bad guys.
Avoiding acknowledging and observing the fact that's bullshit. But he did, that's bullshit logic. Because if a guy who's not from Pacoima shouldn't have no business knowing what a guy from Pacoima is doing in Pacoima, Ho No Honey shouldn't have no idea what nobody outside of Pacoima is doing. But all he does is talk about what everybody outside of Pacoima is doing. He pushes himself as an expert on that subject.
But your criticism of him in the first place was basically to say that he wasn't like, doing his gang thing correctly.
No,
right?
not at all. No.
Something like that he was offended by.
I have recent music. Check out the record Understood on all digital streaming platforms. The opening line says, bitch, you run my name. It comes back 100. Asks, Big U, Top Dog, Wack 100, Suge Knight, both the niggas he happened to run over, the one that died and the one that survived. Rest in peace, Terry Carter. What up, Bone? It's the perfect type of beat for me to nut up on. But bottom line, you see where I'm placing his name. This is in the right before, this is like when I put out Understood. Like what year was that? Like 2019. I'm gonna tell you what happened, cuz. I'm on the internet. I had this like a 7-year hiatus from fucking around. I got to what was going on the internet now way late. I didn't give a fuck. I was doing some way other shit in life. Pop up, the internet is what it is now. I look up, Wack Ho No Hunter is telling this fake ass story about having an encounter with me. And he fabricated a conversation he had with me that nobody in the world could have ever had with me, especially at that time of my life. So I tried to like get him to go online and clarify it. He refused. And that's why I started being honest about the Wack I actually knew and being disrespectful in the process. I've been keeping the secrets about how much of a hoe I know him to be all these years, because I'm not the nigga that's running around exposing all the busters and the hoes. Everything make the game. I can't be a boss unless we got some busters and hoe niggas around for me to separate myself from. So you're saying they all play a part of what we got going on. So Wack was okay being who Wack was. He cool. It's the homie. But I knew what I was aware of his character, the caliber of nigga he was. No need for me to run around and expose that. But when I look up and you lying on me, now it's time for me to be honest on you. I don't know nothing personally about his gang bang. I'm not from Pacoima, but I do got homies that know.
We just hit 600,000 subscribers on the Clips channel right here. We're trying to get to 700, so you know what to do. Smack that red button and subscribe. Appreciate you.